Have you ever wondered what it was really like to be a Chinese emperor? We often see them in movies, draped in silk, surrounded by luxury, wielding absolute power. But was that the whole story? From the legendary Yellow Emperor to the last emperor, Pui. The role of the Son of Heaven was far more complex and demanding than you might imagine. Today, let us pull back the curtain on the Forbidden City and explore the true lives of the men who ruled China. The concept of the emperor began with Qin Shi Huang, who unified China into 21 BC. He didn't just want to be a king. He created the title Huangdi, or emperor, combining words for august and sovereign, setting himself above all previous rulers. This wasn't just a power grab. It was deeply tied to a philosophical idea known as the Mandate of Heaven. This mandate was a celestial blessing that gave the emperor the right to rule. It meant he was the intermediary between heaven and earth, responsible for maintaining cosmic balance and ensuring the prosperity of his people. But here's the catch: the mandate could be lost. Natural disasters, famines, or widespread rebellion were seen as signs that heaven was displeased and a dynasty could be overthrown. So, from the very beginning, the emperor's power was tied to immense responsibility. What did this responsibility look like? Day-to-day? Forget sleeping in. An emperor's day often started before dawn. Sometimes as early as 3 or 4 a.m., after getting dressed in intricate dragon robes, which could take a long time with the help of eunuchs. His first duty was often to consult with his grandmother or mother, showing filial piety. A core Confucian value, then, it was straight to business, the morning court session. Or Zhaoqiao was the main event. Here, officials would present memorials, written reports on everything from military campaigns and tax collection to local infrastructure projects. The emperor would listen, ask questions, and make decisions that could affect millions of lives. Imagine having to process that much information and make crucial judgments before most people have had their first cup of tea. This wasn't just a morning job. After court, the emperor would review stacks of documents, often with the help of his grand secretariat. He would personally read these memorials and write comments in red ink. This was a critical part of his power. By controlling the flow of information and making the final call, he maintained his authority. During the Ming Dynasty, some emperors had to review hundreds of memorials a day. Emperor Yang Zheng of the Qing Dynasty was famously diligent, often working late into the night, writing thousands of characters in his vermilion critiques. His work ethic was legendary, showing that being emperor wasn't all feasting and fun, of course. The emperor wasn't just a bureaucrat. He was also the commander-in-chief of the army. While many emperors led campaigns from the capital, some, like Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty or the Kangxi Emperor of the Qing, were formidable military leaders who personally went on expeditions. Their victories on the battlefield not only expanded the empire, but also solidified their legitimacy and power beyond war. The emperor was the chief priest of the nation. He performed sacred rituals at the Temple of Heaven to pray for good harvests, at the Temple of Agriculture to honor farming, and at the Ancestral Temple to honor his lineage. These ceremonies were elaborate, highly symbolic, and reinforced his divine connection as the Son of Heaven. So where does the legendary luxury come? And life in the Forbidden City was certainly opulent. The emperor lived in a world of unparalleled splendor, surrounded by priceless art, intricate architecture, and thousands of servants, guards, and concubines. His meals were extravagant affairs, with dozens, sometimes hundreds, of dishes prepared for every sitting. Although he would only taste a few to prevent poisoning, he enjoyed private gardens, opera performances, and hunting excursions in imperial parks. However, this life of privilege came with a heavy price: isolation. The emperor was often a prisoner in his own palace. Every move was watched, every word recorded. His personal relationships were governed by strict protocol, even his family. Life was a matter of state. His choice of an empress was a political decision, designed to create alliances with powerful families. His concubines were selected to ensure the continuation of the imperial line. The constant pressure to produce a male heir created intense rivalries and intrigue within the inner court, a world dominated by empresses, concubines, and powerful eunuchs. This harem politics could be incredibly dangerous. not just for the women involved, but for the stability of the entire empire. An emperor had to navigate these treacherous waters while also running a country over time. The nature of imperial power shifted in the early dynasties, like the Han. Emperors often shared power with a strong bureaucracy and influential aristocratic families. During the Tang Dynasty, a golden age of cosmopolitan culture, emperors like Taizong actively sought advice from capable chancellors. But by the Ming Dynasty, emperors like Hongwu and Yongle concentrated power in their own hands, creating a more autocratic system. They established a secret police and used eunuchs to bypass the traditional civil service, leading to a more personal and often more brutal form of rule. The Qing Dynasty inherited and refined this system, with emperors like Kangxi, Yangzheng, and Qianlong representing the peak of imperial authority and diligence. However, as the world changed in the 19th century, this ancient system struggled to adapt. Facing internal rebellions and increasing pressure from Western powers, the Qing Dynasty began to crumble. The emperor, once the all-powerful son of heaven, was now seen as unable to protect the nation. The mandate of heaven seemed to be slipping away for the last time. In 1912, the last emperor, Hui, abdicated, bringing an end to over 2,000 years of imperial rule in China. The story of the Chinese emperor is a fascinating paradox. It's a story of absolute power bound by immense responsibility, of divine right tempered by the threat of rebellion, of unimaginable luxury lived within a gilded cage. They were poets, warriors, administrators, and priests, all rolled into one. Their decisions shaped the course of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Understanding their lives gives us a unique window into the complexities of power, tradition, and the epic history of China. What aspect of their lives do you find most surprising? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.